Jeffrey.
My name is Cypher Morrison, and this week in car audio. Tune in, this week in car audio. Tune in. What we talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This week in car audio. Yeah. Tune in. This week in car audio.
Welcome to This Week in Cardio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, co-hosted by Mr. Entertainment himself, Mr. Jeffrey Fernandez. What's going on, Jeff?
Nothing much. Another Monday here in paradise.
I guess you're back in Texas again.
Yes.
So yeah. I saw a vicious meme from you or something. You guys were practicing, getting Dana her World Finals practice in.
Well, I mean, it's basically our I want to say weekly practice.
Right.
Our friend Eric Hansen.
Yep, friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Our sponsor, one of the sponsors of the show.
Yeah.
He basically, had an idea to practice base race because, practicing at the event wasn't really good for him. So, we just got to practicing and we're like, let's kind of make it a weekly thing every Friday after work, of course. Come on over to Crossfire and, we'll set up the term lab and just practice, just try different techniques, try different strategies, stuff like that. And, it gets pretty wild sometimes. Like, it's like you never really see that many ties in base race,
right?
Unless you see old videos of Steve Mick and Jimbo going at it, right?
Right.
But so we're kind of able to kind of recreate it during practice, stuff like that. So we've done ties up to like 7 times, and Top Dog, man, don't get me started. Time extensions, wow, it's just like there's so many that I just lose count. So it gets really fun. Hopefully we could, get more people into it. And, there was a couple of new guys doing base race at the last show. So hopefully we can get a good interest and, people practicing, getting really good at it and kind of represent Texas in base race. So,
yeah. With World Finals, the way we've been doing it the last few years, where you have multiple locations to make the attempt to go and see it. Let's see. So I'm seeing my YouTube guys popping up on here. Manny Alejandre, Lord of Base Manny in the house, says, "What's up, guys?" Let's see. I'm going to test something here on Facebook real quick.
See ya. Couple guys.
And let's see what we got going on here. Okay, yeah, so Facebook's working and YouTube's working. I don't know how to make Twitch or Twitter work yet, so I'm still working on that. But we are live now on multiple formats. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. I had one more, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. So let me see here. Move this down. So
Got to get you on Rumble.
Rumble, huh? That sounds like a porn site.
No.
Let's see here. Bam.
I think that's like an alternative to
YouTube,
Twitter, right?
It's a YouTube,
YouTube?
alternative. Okay. Yeah, because we got Eric Hansen. Real quick, let's mention our sponsors for today's event. We got Crossfire Car Audio, we got Voodoo Customs, and Eric Hansen E-Box. Design and install for E-Box. He's in the chat right here, Mr. Eric Hansen. We already talked about him practicing with Jeffrey. So I got everything up and going, it looks like. There we go. So our guest today, we got Greg Perchal. He would be on your right if you're watching the screen, and Woody McDonald on your left with the peace sign. So that's Woody for you guys that are watching back home. Anyway, so for people that don't know, Greg Perchal, he owns Audio Express, right?
Audio 916.
Audio 916. Oh, that's right. Audio 916. Back in the days, it was Audio Express, not the $1, not the home of the $1 install, but the other Audio Express. And Audio 916, World Finals competitor. His first world record was 96. You said?
Yep.
1996. We got Jose Ramos in the chat there. That's senior, in case you guys are wondering.
What's up, Jose?
And he went to World Finals in 2004, which, before we get too far into this thing, I got to have a talk with him. All right. So, Mr. Greg.
Yeah.
So, I have only ever had one competitor of mine. Kyle Ernie popping in here says Greg and OG in the game. Toxic Audio was the shit back in high school. High school wasn't very long ago for you then, Mr. Kyle. All right. Anyway, so of all the competitors that have ever gone to World Finals, I've only had one competitor that showed up to World Finals, and I get a call from the judges saying, "What the hell were you telling this guy that he thinks that he can do that stuff at finals?" All right.
Stop it.
So everybody knows we've had this story on here before, but so Greg is the guy. So what happened was Greg calls me up, says, "Yeah, can I fiberglass in my backside of my CRX?" I said, "Well, yeah, you can make like an amp rack, you can fiberglass and make it look nice." Well, he shows up to World Finals. He put like 6 gallons of fiberglass in the back of his CRX. And I'm like, dude, that does not approximate the OEM interior of the vehicle in any way, shape, or form. So other than Greg, everybody I've sent to World Finals, their cars have been like minimal of, oh, hey, you got to make an adjustment here.
In my defense, it looked good. I took it out, and I still took first place in the
speed
class.
You absolutely did. You took it out, and you still won.
Thank you.
But that was a lot of work. I think at the time you were running the Earthquake amps.
Yes, I was. Yes, Earthquake shredders, I think.
Yeah. The P2200s or whatever it was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, PH2200s or 2000s or something. Yeah, they were good amps for their time. Absolutely, they were good amps. Yeah. And then I think you were using you weren't using you were using Toxic Audio subs for that, weren't you?
Yeah, we were just started with those, and was working with what was his name? George Wu. He was Atomic. He was building them for us.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So George Wu with the Atomic. If you guys are out of LA or way back old school, Atomic woofers were very good back in the day. They were a lot of people like West Coast were Atomic guys and East Coast were DD guys. Was a really common thing. Jeffrey was running Atomic.
Yeah, I think George was also doing OEM for other companies.
He was. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. He made it for us. 5 other companies. He was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I remember going there, and I'm like, can I take a peek back there? And he's like, no, you can't go back there. And of course, Sheena was there, just guarding the front door. But so George was building the Toxic woofers also. So
yes.
Okay, yes. I got you. So you weren't actually running Atomic, but you were running Toxic woofers.
Correct. Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had our own amps, but they were made in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they weren't finalized at that point, I don't believe.
And not at the finals yet. That was a little bit later. Yeah.
Yeah. It was shortly.
We had
after
Earthquake.
Finals.
Yeah, correct. But eventually, yeah.
Yep. That was the time that somebody convinced George, or it may not even have been George, but somebody put the 2,000 watt amp in like a 50-watt case or something like that. Um, and U.S.A.C.A banned.
What?
Yeah, U.S.A.C.A banned atomic amplifiers for a short time. So, because they were seeing, I think they were in the 100-watt case or something like that, and so people were running like 3 of them for this, for the 300-watt class or something, and they
Well,
were
this
running
was
6,000 watts.
exactly. I think this was back in the day when they went by what the manual said the
Manufacturers and
amp.
that, yep,
So it
yeah,
was like, okay, it does 50 watts at 4 ohms, but people are running them probably half a ohm or something like that, getting crazy power out of
yeah.
it.
That
And
was
Right.
like
That
the
was in the
yep,
early '90s to like mid '90s. After '97, it went by cone area and things like that because
Mhm.
everybody was running
yeah,
cheater amps.
yeah.
Exactly.
What was it? The Orion was the 1-watt amp.
Wow.
It
What?
was
No, the HCCA, that thing
yeah,
I believe was it 50 watts, but it put out like 400 a quarter ohm, something like that.
yeah, exactly. But it was rated at like 50 watts.
HCCA has a 225,
Yeah,
2 by
Yeah,
25
yeah,
watt. Yeah.
that's what they were rated.
yeah, 2 by 25. That's
But
right.
but it got to the point where there was some manufacturers saying, their amp was 20 watts or 15 watts. You're right,
Yes.
and they were 1,000, 1,200 watt amps.
Yeah. Oh,
Not big amps back then.
yeah. A lot of times they would say it was like 150 watts, but it'd be at 8 ohms, like you said.
Wow.
So
Right, something like
eight ohms at 11 volts. Eh.
why not?
Wow, that seemed like it was so long ago, but I mean, it's like now we're using the clamp to, basically, read the wattage. So it's like,
Right.
man,
Didn't
imagine if
have that then.
yeah, it
Nope.
didn't have it back then. Didn't
No.
have it back then.
Manny mentions you can't leave out Randy over there. You got
That's
George,
right.
Sheena, and Randy. I've never met Randy, but I do know George. I've met George and Sheena a bunch of times, and yeah, George might be the face of the company, but Sheena absolutely runs it.
She wore the pants.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Uh-oh.
yeah.
there ain't no doubts about that. Anybody that's ever been or tried to make any kind of deals with Atomic definitely knows Sheena was who you talked to. George would just point you in her direction and be done. So, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your accomplishments there, Greg, real quick?
Accomplishments, my.
Yeah.
The guy's going to be humble right now.
No, he ain't. Dude, if you ever meet Greg at a show,
If you would've
the
caught
last
me
thing
20
he's
years
ever going to
ago-
be is humble.
20 years ago, I probably wouldn't stop talking about myself. But now,
Yeah.
I have children,
Yeah.
and I'm a happily married man. Yeah, I'm just enjoying this game. It's been my hobby, and I just, can't get out of it. It's a lot of fun.
So he started competing. What was your first car?
Well, the very first competition I went to was at Cal Expo in 1990.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That was the very first one, and then I was sound quality till about 94, 95. I actually won the regional IASCA, championship in 95.
Mm-hmm.
But, every time who gathered all the crowds was the SPL guys. So
Right.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to build me a car. So I had a CRX. This is probably before your time. It was in like 1994 or 5, something like that, and had 12, 15-inch subwoofers and 87 CRX. Yes, people say it can't be done. It was
Holy.
done. It was done. Yes, it was. And my boy Sushi, James,
Oh,
if
yeah.
anybody knows. Sushi's been with me since 1990. He's still working for me right now. He's
Mhm.
downstairs working. But anyways, we fiberglassed literally the whole car from top to bottom, and we squeezed 12, 15-inch Petras, Prowlers. They've been long gone, for at least 20 years. But yeah, that was like the crazy vehicle. After that, we got an Astro van, and we got sponsored by Cervega Strokers, and that's the one I won that championship with. Strokers linear power. That was the combo in the mid 90s.
Yeah. Stroker's still that subwoofer, that 18 that they have, it still performs today. So
Yeah.
I mean that's a very good.
It was
woofer.
advanced.
It was.
But I don't know if you knew that subwoofer was actually designed and built in 1971 by Gene Czerwiński. It was a Polish guy, Serwin Vega.
Uh-huh.
He designed that woofer in 71 for the movie
71.
Earthquake. Yes, the movie Earthquake. They used 1610s on each side of the. They would roll it in the theater, and that's what was doing the shaking for the movie Earthquake.
Oh,
Actual fact.
I did not know that. I
Yeah, me
knew
neither.
it was designed in the 70s. And I was reading a little bit about it, and they were just talking about because the suspension and whatnot was so loose, they were having a hard time keeping it linear, and that's how they came up with the pole piece that with the extra washer and whatnot. And because when you plug in and you do the right amplification, you can create quite a bit more power. But the problem was is the suspension at the time wasn't stiff
Right.
enough to support that.
Correct.
And
The
so what?
spiders weren't able to handle it just by
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah. So what would happen is the for anybody that's ever dealt with speakers, it would extend out and it would tilt. You would get cone slop, and you get cone slop, and
Actually,
you blow the coils.
actually, it wasn't like that. The actual cones would fold. They would overskirt, and there was not
Oh,
enough surround, and the cones were folding. I don't know if you guys ever
well,
seen that, but
yeah. So that's why they had the progressive
right.
surround to start with. But
But it was still more excursion than the
yes,
spider was able to handle, and
right,
the woofers would actually fold.
yes.
I worked for Linear Power for a short period of time when I was a
Oh,
young man, so they were like the team, Cern Vega
Yeah.
right,
and Linear Power. I don't know if you remember that,
yeah.
and they were the combination
So
at the time to actually beat. So
yeah, so that was like in
we
the
were sponsored by them.
1930s.
Yeah,
About
I think that was a combo. A friend of the show, Roger Bridges over there.
yeah. Roger was
First
on our
had.
team. We had a team,
Yeah.
Cern Vega Stroker, Linear Power. He was on the team as well.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
There was, a few guys. There was
Y'all are making it rain back in the day. Who could afford that stuff back then? You know what I
you
mean?
were sponsored back
Good
then.
Lord.
That whooper back then, I think, was $850, man.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Try
I
that,
think
1990,
Yeah,
Four,
double
five.
that. That's what it's now.
Yeah,
more than double that.
I
It's like
think
Crazy.
I think it was $1,100 when we tried to buy one in 2001 or something like that.
there you go.
I think it
Yeah.
was $1,100. But the vehicle I was working with at that time, we kind of got sponsored also. So
Yeah. Well, there was sponsors back then, kids.
that's what. So Kyle Ernie says back when there was real money in car audio.
Hey, I used to
A
win big money.
lot.
It was,
Yep.
$1,500 weekends. Finals were $3,000. Georgia Invitational was a $10,000 purse.
Yep.
Ah.
Not Georgia Invitational. It was, well, yeah, Atlanta, Georgia Invitational, and then there was also Georgia Masters for Iasca,
Mhm.
where Richard Clark would win $25,000. That's back in 1993, four type of stuff.
Yeah.
$25,000 grand prize.
Wow.
Yeah, you
That's
go-
real money.
Yes, it is.
Was that for SPL or SQ?
No, SQ, SQ.
SQ.
I don't
Okay.
know if you know sound quality. Richard Clark had the Grand National, famous Grand National. Originally was speaker. That's before your time. I'm not gonna.
I
bore
think
you.
so.
Like I said, I started competing in 1990. So
Yeah. Josh Tay2 says, "What's up, Woody?"
What's up, Josh?
Kyle says sponsorships, magazines, national exposure. Now we exist in the Facebook groups and small parking lots.
but
You
we're
ain't
still
wrong.
loving every minute
Yep.
of it.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the dude all high, the darker fella?
All high.
Uh-oh.
That's from
Yeah.
Arturo. Arturo.
I'm as sober as it gets.
He is sober.
I got a little caffeine in the system. That's about
Yeah.
it.
but
Oh,
no,
there you
no,
go.
No alcohol.
Arturo from
Maybe
the
after
Fresno
the
area.
podcast.
Yeah. I think because I'm looking down the screen a little bit, my eyelids might be a little low.
One thing that you guys may have seen from Greg was he actually built Nyman's Murder Vic, right? Is what he called it?
Yeah,
The Murder Vic.
His Civic, yeah.
Yeah, his little Civic. He made him a trunk install and got him up to, I think, 152 or something out of that trunk at one point.
He dominated base race with that vehicle.
Arturo says, "Stop it. He ain't the judge. You don't need to lie to him." That vehicle. So, but yeah, that was
And
one
the
of his
green
builds.
Tahoe was originally his brother James, and we
Which you
did
built
a
that
really
also.
nice system in that originally. And then he went to all the big woofers, but we had a nice system, JL Audio W7 for his brother, and then I guess later he gave it to him.
um, Steve Del Santos says, "Remember the days of having to wait a month to see where shows were going to be." I don't know if that means that, because like here, I'm going to put together my whole schedule. Most of you guys already know what it is. We're going to be at Nyman's. Shoot, I told my wife, it's the same as last year, same as the year before, same as the year before that. So Friday nights, we'll be down in Fresno. I think it's the third or fourth Saturday of the month. We're going to be at Nyman's shop. And the second Saturday of the month, we're going to be in Reno. So those are the current schedules, along with Autorama. Yeah. So,
hey Doug, on your on turnpro.com, you can still find somebody's championships on the website. By the way.
Oh yeah, Brandy Lee popping in says, "Hey guys, what's up?"
What's up, Brandy?
So,
hey girl.
Oh yeah. So that's what. Okay, so I would tell you about the big shows coming up. There'd be advertisements in it. Show stuff like Alma Gates' truck, and you get to know about some of the builders and whatnot.
What's a magazine?
Magazine. Okay, so for you young folk out there, a magazine
you have to wait for results from the World Finals until because there was no internet yet.
That's right.
Who did what?
Exactly.
So a magazine is a website that people print on paper, fold it up, staple it together, and mail it to you.
Yes. And you have to pay for it.
Oh yeah, and you got to pay for it. Kyle Ernie says, "I remember being a kid and looking at those magazines at the grocery store, and then the person, no more looking at the magazines if you ain't buying them. Put it down."
I remember those days.
Yeah. So have you ever been featured in a magazine, Greg?
I'm not sure. I don't. I really don't remember. I don't think so.
Yeah. So Greg was a competitor in the early 2000s. He started up Toxic Audio, but he also had the stereo shop. He actually had 2 locations at one time for three. Oh, that's right. He had 3 locations. And now he has moved to a new shop called Audio 916, and just 1 location for this one.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. And Toxic Audio no longer is a manufacturing, but what do you got sitting there between you guys?
My new brand that Woody talked me into. It's called Shocking Sounds, and that's why he's here. Just high quality.
Oh, carbon
fiber. High-powered, subwoofers, batteries. We have lithium batteries that are underhood safe because, not just the DB world, but regular customers still need to upgrade their batteries for your everyday, weekly, Gumby. Gumby means bass head. So your daily bass head needs still power to drive a 2, 3, 4,000 watt amplifier with a couple 12s or 15s in the trunk. So that's why we came something. Take your battery. You have a diesel, put 2 of them, bam, you got basically 5 batteries. The technology. Right. So they work really, really well. So been doing a lot of testing, and they're working very, very well. Our subwoofers use the best components we could: carbon fiber cones, oversized coils, long excursion, massive motors. We will be introducing smaller drivers, of course, but I figured if you're gonna go big or go home. So we started out with the biggest and the baddest. 12-inch woofers with 4-inch coils, rate them at 3,500 RMS. 18 and 15-inch, 5-inch voice coils, 4,000 RMS. Long throw. I don't know if you can see the motors, but 90 pounds, 120, 112 pounds. So massive. We had a hard time getting them up here.
Oh my God, yeah. To bring them up here. Oh.
So after this, I'm on vacation.
Yeah, this is when you need a who's Gately's guy? The one that crawls in the boxes. and stuff.
Buddy used
Buddy,
to.
yeah.
Oh.
That's why you guys need a buddy to install those speakers.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me.
We were joking. We were talking about we need like Scott Boss and all these other big
Oh,
guys
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Some of you guys remember Will, but yeah.
Yeah, Will probably
Yeah.
could help us. Big Welcher, yes, he's a big boy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
anyways, we have been doing some competitions, doing a lot of testing in real life in vehicles.
Right.
Woody's coming back with something next show.
Oh, you know what? Woody's got the MDX.
MDX.
Yes, and man, poor car. He beats the
geez.
hell out of that thing.
Taking a beating.
You
Yes.
should have seen it in Vegas. We were beating up on our prototype, so I was like, I'm gonna just keep playing 18 hertz to 20 hertz. So we redid our box, whole car just flopping around. It was crazy, but the woofers survived. I mean, I was going full tilt, 18 and 20 hertz, ported boxes, no problem, no bottoming out. So
Awesome.
these will actually do a lot
Much
better.
better. Much better.
Okay. Kyle Ernie says, Buddy got grown-ass man strength for a little dude.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yep. Kyle wants to know, are there any published specs on the lithium batteries?
Published specs. Our website's going to be up within literally a week or two. We're getting everything on, but yes, we will have everything.
And what's the website there?
It's going to be shockingsounds.com.
Okay, Shocking Sounds. So
Right now, our biggest one is 105 amp hour.
Yes, we have a 45 in stock, 60 in stock, and 105. This is a 105. It weighs about 22 pounds.
Wow.
Okay.
And it's a starter battery. So, like I said, it's put under the hood. Woody tested it. We put literally more power than we should have in it.
Oh yeah, pretty amazing. I took out my my excess power AGM, and then when I popped that one in there, and on my Tahoe, just starting the engine, just turned the key. This thing just turned over so much faster. I mean, just little things like that. Then we were beaten up with another amp. So one battery, Teramp's 12K,
on
my
412s.
battery meter was just barely even moving. Just
Wow.
and I'm full tilting it. I was like, it was amazing. Comparing this to the excess power, it was night and day. So we can't wait to keep trying some more.
Brandy says, don't get any hernias.
Oh,
Too late.
My back.
You
You
like,
should have seen
seriously.
us.
All right, Greg. So I was prepping everybody last week about you coming on this week.
Oh,
So-
yeah?
Yeah. So what would be your favorite story from any show that you've ever attended?
Oh, boy. Favorites.
Because, I mean, you've attended a lot of shows, and you've been the focus of a few stories. So what do you got for us?
I think Doug's got something.
You know what, Doug?
Sleep.
You
No.
remind me because I don't even know.
No.
I
Just-
honestly, I can't even think, man. I swear, it didn't even occur to me. I've been
Okay.
over 150 shows. I don't know.
All right. Well, so
Oh yes.
I knew you
got
would have one.
My
There we
favorite-
go.
I'm glad you. Yes. So in 1996, and I don't know how many of you out there listening remember the bread truck, Dave Navoni and Richard Clark. They had an MTX 62-inch custom subwoofer. Do you guys remember that? Were you there?
So-
Google it.
I'll Google it.
a 62-inch subwoofer, is that like
Yes,
the
custom made. I mean,
Right.
this thing was like a piston. I
uh-huh.
don't know how many amps they had, but they had like Pro Audio Crown amps, like 250,000 watts. Something stupid.
Okay.
This woofer was like a piston. Google it. Anyways,
So was it a servo-driven piston or
yes,
servo-driven
something like that?
subwoofer?
Yes.
Okay.
You side, you would have crapped your pants. It was amazing. Anyways, they had bulletproof windows, at least 4 inches thick, everything bullet up, and it's their turn to run. And because it was such a large woofer, you know, the only thing it could play is like 12 hertz and below. So they go in the lane, they turn it up, and all we heard was that was. I mean, just think about it. I think he burped 8 hertz, and all the side markers flew off into the crowd. Talk about crazy. That was crazy. He only did like a 61 or something, but dude, that was like a 9 or 10 hertz.
There you go. That's
And
insane.
this is in 1996.
Whoa.
Leo Valdez says you're DQ'd.
Oh no.
It's automatic. You're
I
just
haven't-
straight
I haven't seen
DQ'd.
Leo in a minute.
I know.
And my second favorite story
Uh-huh.
was 97 Atlanta, Georgia Invitational, top 8 guys in the whole world, invitation only. And you guys can Google this. I was the first guy in DB drag racing world history to break a windshield in competition. I was the first one. You can look that up.
Were you?
Yes,
That
I
I
was
did not
in
know.
actual DB drag racing
Oh
contest.
wow.
Yes, sir.
So was that at World Finals or?
It was like again, it wasn't a world finals. It was a invitational for top 8 guys in the whole world.
Okay.
All the loudest guys. Brantley Waits was
Right.
there. John Henry. I can't remember all the names, but Chris Thompson.
I
mean,
am. I invited. I invited Tom Orozco. Anyway, I invited John Henry on here, but he's not into doing podcasts and stuff. So,
neither was I.
I know you weren't. Hey, but you're a great personality for a podcast. So
well, thank you.
So what? Of all the shows you've been to, do you have like a favorite show that you've been to, or one you like to go and watch or be part of, or any of that stuff?
Which favorite? I would have to say the 96-7 World Finals. It was different back then. Nashville, no, not Nashville. That was Greenville, South Carolina. Man, there was people. There was spectators. The other one would be Daytona. Remember
SBN?
Daytona?
Yeah,
Spring
Break Nationals.
Man, there was a million people there. It's just you just don't see it anymore. But recently, where we went to Surf City, and that was a pretty good show.
Yep.
One of the bigger ones that I've been in the last freaking 10 years, probably. That was pretty awesome. Yep. So there's hope.
Yep. No. So we're in Autorama this year. We're gonna have USAC and IASCA involved also. I still had, I think, 104 entries last year at DB Drag at Autorama. So
I'm putting up $250 for the loudest guy in your organization. Cash money.
Oh,
in the DB Drag?
Some big boys. What's that?
In the DB Drag?
Sure.
All right. So there you go.
Or a specific event or at Autorama?
Just the loudest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the loudest. So Greg sponsored Autorama, I think, twice. Once is Toxic Audio and once is Audio Express.
Yeah, I did back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick Garcia says, hell yes. And Jose
Bring
Ramos says, oh, really?
Bring the big
boys.
Wow.
I'll put up some money.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
we want to see it still grow and continue, because it's a lot more fun when people show up, and it's a lot more fun when you walk away with some money. I remember that was my driving force back in the day.
Kyle Ernie says
I like the money.
He'll be the loudest Scar build. Can I get $2.50?
What you put in there?
Can I get $2.50?
$2.50.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. Hold on. We're bypassing a car audio story that this guy recently did.
All right.
Oh yeah, we have a pretty.
You have to
tell. You tell the story because
you tell the story.
You gave me the equipment. You tell it.
We were in Fresno, and I know I can't see how many people are on, but a lot of these people are at the event. And we're not going to name the name of the amplifiers that caused the problem, but we got there and we just didn't have the oomph that we had before. Something wasn't right. And I'm just like, get up there and run it anyway. And Greg's like, hold on. Hops in the back of the Scion, and he's like, not all the woofers are playing. They're moving, but only 4 are playing. 2 of them were not doing anything. So we found out we had a bad amp. And we're in Fresno getting ready to compete. Like, we have 5 minutes to get up there. So we're like, all right, no, we're done for the day. Except I got an amp in my car. Let's just pull your bad amp out. We'll just throw mine in. Complete different amps, complete different technology.
Right.
Voltage problems, everything wrong. We had to get bungee cords, a towel, some tape, zip ties. We hurried up and threw the thing in there. Rush up. He's like, all right, all he needed to do was qualify so he can go to World Finals. So he gets up there and he's like, all right, here we go. Just crank that knob. Blew 2 woofers. One of them froze, and the other one blew out and caught fire.
Flew out.
It flew out, caught fire, and it's in flames, smoke everywhere inside the Scion. But he got a, 159
something.
We
still qualified.
So that was fun.
But,
we had
first
to put a
time
fire.
actual woofer was on fire. They're ready to put it out. No, we didn't want the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, so I told that my first year at World Finals, I was in charge of the fire extinguisher, and
Were you?
I think Scotty Johnson, or I can't remember who had the white van with all the crossfire in it back in the day. And so they're doing the 5-minute death match, right? And he's just bam, 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 bam. All of a sudden, you used to look in the back of his thing and just pop, 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 pop. Fets are just blown. I mean, caps are just blown like crazy.
I think it might have
right?
been Steve Cook.
Steve Cook, I think so.
If
with
it
the
was
white
a
van, right?
if it was a death match, it had to have been extreme.
Yes, it was
And
extreme.
Anyway,
so pop, pop, pop. Dude, flames shooting out of the back of his van. Opens up the doors. Flames shooting out. And he goes, if you turn that fire extinguisher on, I will beat the piss out of you. Let that burn to the ground.
Let it burn.
And he just bam, bam, bam until it stopped playing. Then all of a sudden, shoot, shut off, and all the fires extinguished. But he told me, you do not put that fire extinguisher in my car. You let this thing burn to the ground first.
We blew up an amp yesterday, screwing around. Not saying names of what it was, but we just screwing around, playing around, and boom, pop, smoke. Oh, great. So.
Yeah. If you guys have ever blown an amp, which I suspect most of the people that are going to listen to this and watch this probably have, it's a smell you don't ever forget. That or woofers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a smell you never forget. I'll be walking down, so I'm working over at NASA right now, right? And I'm walking through the back halls, and they're building some stuff that you can't see. Just you hear stuff going in the background, and I'm walking down. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, somebody just blew an amp. I'm like, I know that smell. Said, you guys can tell me it's whatever you want, but I know what that is. So, but yeah,
we got lucky. We didn't blow woofers yesterday. We did a test. I don't know what frequency, maybe 40 hertz burps, and then all of a sudden we're like, "What's that smell?" And there was actually smoke coming out of the port. None of the woofers blew, thank God. So we realized something's not right. Well, that amp was clipping itself to death, and it blew up later too. So good thing we tested before Saturday.
Yeah,
yeah. I will say though, the last Autorama that I had. Scantily clad women hand out trophies was the one Greg Perchal did. So, because I don't do that with my shows, but Greg does it with his. So he brought a handful of scantily clad ladies out.
Wait, were they bikinis?
Oh yeah.
They were in like short shorts and halter top.
I remember that.
Well, that's really dressed compared to just bikini. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, they have bikini tops though.
Yeah, I think some of them have bikini tops, and the other ones had the half shirts that just hung, mid chest. So.
All right. So you want that for Autorama this year?
All right. I met him at a nice fine establishment in the Rancho Cordova. They were working that night.
And he said, "Hey, I got a job for you."
I did, and they agreed.
Oh, so
I might have to do that again.
You gotta please the sponsor. You gotta please the sponsor of the event, right?
So, anyway, yeah. So that's, like I said, that was good. If you guys ever, Greg has a mind for building SPL boxes. Every box he's done, he's been successful with almost every build that I've seen come out of his shop. Right now he's got the 916 van, right? Or the Scion.
The
whatever
Scion. The little XB box.
Yeah. And, I mean, that's doing great numbers in the Cyclone type style where you play low, play loud. And then it plays all day. It's a great demo vehicle. And then he's got the horn, or not horns, but, the stuff you put on boats up on top of it.
Towers, marine towers.
Marine towers, yep. He's got marine towers. See, we don't do marine stuff here, so I don't know what they are. So
No.
So I mean, it's a really nice build too.
Guys.
Yeah. So, and then like I said, so he's got Woody. So did you build Woody's car too, or?
Yeah, we helped Woody, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
They built a cool box for me, and I chopped it in half the other day, but it was beautiful. But I did chop it.
Yeah. Eh,
Always taste. Always testing. Always.
yes, always testing. That's a key. So anybody that's say new to competing, would you have any advice for them?
Do you want me to tell them the truth
Yeah, the
or what
truth.
they should hear?
No, the truth. We don't
It's
care
too
about what they.
expensive.
It is.
It's too expensive. Keep your money.
Yep. Get out of here.
No, if you're gonna do it, buy the product the first time, the right product. Don't buy half-ass stuff because you're gonna spend money more than once or twice.
You're gonna replace it twice,
So
3 times.
if you have a plan, save your money for something good.
Mm-hmm.
Spare yourself the agony. Just get the right product from the beginning. That's it. Get the right.
So, what order would you suggest somebody purchase product at?
Like, start with what if you're gonna do it?
Yeah, start with an alternator. Start with batteries. Start with what?
I think definitely electrical. Yeah, alternator, batteries,
wire.
Batteries first because you can run off of batteries if you have enough. Alternator would be second. Then of course amp and woofers. You can't run one without the other. So that's what I would do. And of course the enclosure is probably the most important part of any build because you can have the same 20 different woofers and the box will make all the difference. You know what I mean?
Big power wire.
Big, yeah.
Yeah, we had Carlos. We had Carlos Rodriguez on here last week, and we were talking to him about just because this woofer performed in his extreme build doesn't mean in your street car it's going to perform the same.
Exactly, for sure. Yes.
Because as Greg said, it's all about the box, and you got to figure that your car is an addition to the box. So it's more than just the box, right? So you got to match the box, the amplifier, the subwoofer to your car. That's why testing. And now you can modify your car just like you would a box, and that's going to help you maximize what you do have in there.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah. So, but, someone like Greg that has the experience and whatnot building, Jose Ramos, same thing. He can look at your car and come up with a box that he knows is going to perform just by looking at it. And it might not be a world champion car, but it's going to get you in the lanes. It's going to get you competing at a reasonable level. And then if you really want to go world finals, now that's when it gets expensive. But it's your opportunity to, you can learn so much. These guys will help explain stuff to you when you see them at a show, show you stuff. It's all you have to do is ask. They like to demo what they have, the wealth of knowledge, that like Greg possesses. You can't buy that kind of knowledge. It's something you have to learn over time.
Yeah, definitely.
We got to give 2 shout outs real quick for your alternator needs, Kyle Ernie.
There you
go. And for your bass knob needs, Josh Tay2. You need both of those, so just want to throw that in there.
Stephen Talbot popping in saying, "Hey y'all,
what's up?"
Justin Stolman finally popping in, late as usual.
He's doing storm tracking right now.
Yeah, that's what he does during that time of year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he likes to. Well, some people think it's fun. Some people think it's crazy. Kind of like what we do, right?
Exactly.
Some people think it's a lot of fun. Other people think, "What the hell are you doing?"
Exactly.
Right.
So is your wife one of the "What the hell are you doing" guys?
My wife?
Yeah.
She's a soldier. She's booked our room for next week and she's ready.
Oh, I'll tell you right now. I've seen her at almost every show when I see Greg. Especially like Autorama, any show that's going to be a long time. She's right there with them. You know, almost every time. So that's
she does the books here for us. Does all the paperwork. So she
got Zoom set up for us.
She got the Zoom set up. So there you go. I build boxes and sell audio. I don't do Zooms, but hey, here we are.
Justin says he misses you, Woody. Can't wait to see you at some shows.
Well, you'll see me soon. I would rather a young lady say she misses Woody. You know what I mean? But shout out to Justin Stillman anyway. You know.
Cause Woody there, he's single, so any ladies, he's not opposed to going and having a little good time with.
Yeah, my great grandfather once told me, he said, "Do me a favor before you go out, get yourself a good wife and get yourself shocking sounds." And I was like, "All right, I got you. I'm on. We got the shocking sounds right now. Working on the wife, okay?"
Oh, that's hilarious.
Maybe the shocking sounds will get you a wife.
There you go.
There you go.
If you hit the right note during a head trip, you know what I mean? We won't go deep into that because it's a family show.
Oh, yeah, boy.
But,
oh, boy.
Working on that.
Hit the spots.
So, Greg, so have you, so, I don't know, but, so where are you from? You're from New York, right?
Well, let's.
Oh, we got to go way back.
Okay, let's go back.
All right.
I was born and raised in Poland.
Okay.
I was 12 years old when I came to U.S.
Okay.
Not a word of English. $55 and 2 suitcases. Had to start from nothing. We are political refugees. My father was working against the communist Russian government. Was arrested. And they gave us 2 choices. In prison or get the hell out of the country.
Right.
And Reagan said, "Hey, we want people like you, anti-commies. Come on down." That's how we ended up here.
All right. And where'd you end up?
In California? Sacramento area for the last 40 years.
Really?
Sacramento?
Yes. Yep. We came straight to Sacramento. Our first place where we stayed was on Edison and Watt Avenue. No.
That's where I used to live.
Fulton and Edison. Yep. Right behind there's a shortstop. That's the first apartment complex. That's where it's
Fulton's all used car dealerships.
Oh
now.
Yeah. it wasn't the greatest, but that's where we started. With nothing, and got into car audio when I was about 14 years old. I can tell that story if we have time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the stories we always like to hear. Is was it your dad? Was it your uncle? A friend?
God, no.
How did you get into car audio?
So I'm 14 years old. At that time, we now are living in the hood in North Highlands because we needed more space. 3 boys, mom, dad. So we had a 4-bedroom little house we rented in North Highlands off of Gay Way and by Santa Fe Market, straight hood. But hey. So I'm outside doing my little skateboarding because that's what kids did back then, boys, And I hear this dom, dom. I'm like, what is this? I've never heard anything like it. And I see it rolling up, little Mazda pickup. Remember back in the little mini truck?
B2200, baby.
Oh, yeah.
That was like in 1985. No bullshit.
Yep.
Anyway.
B2000.
Yes. And he's boom, boom, window down. Everything else is tinted. And he's driving by. I'm like, man, I got to cut him off. So I'm running side streets. I knew the shortcuts, jump in front of the car. Hey, the truck. Hey, stop. He's like, what are you doing, kid? I'm like, what is that? What is that noise? What is that sound? He's like, it's called bass. How do I get it? Of course, he's proud to shows me the box, couple 12s, amplifier. It's over, baby. Since then, 2,000 systems later, I'm still not done.
Yeah.
You can't stop there. Ask him about, where did you used to sell your first?
Oh, my first job was at Denial's flea market.
Flea market.
Oh, come on.
Flea market.
Lightning Audio?
Selling some Pyramid Phase 3s.
Yeah, Pyramid Phase 3s with the poly clear cone, right?
Yes.
Hell yeah, I bought some of those from the flea market.
3s, it was over.
Yep.
Unique amplifiers. Oh yeah.
Rockwood.
Amplifiers.
Rockwood. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I had all that. I had 2 Pyramid Phase 3s with the poly clear cone.
Yes.
And 8-inch woofers behind my seat with a Rockwood 200-watt amp.
And then it was pile drivers. That was getting there pretty good.
Yep.
And then
you
guys
Redline.
Remember Bumper? Do you remember
Yes.
Bumper?
Yep.
Bumper.
Those were all like predecessors to the Redline.
Yes.
Like GNS Redline.
That thump out there.
Yep. Thump. Remember Thump?
Yep.
Yep. So you boys is all right. You kids, look it up.
Yeah. Everyone's like, what are you talking about?
I know, bro. I know.
No, those are good things. I tell a similar story of I was actually I went into a stereo shop when I was 15 years old, and I'm walking out the door, and I literally, as I opened the door, I just boom! Oh, the hell was that? I felt like it stopped my heart. I was like, what the hell was that? And he was playing. I'll tell you what the song was. It was Madonna, "Like a Prayer."
Oh.
Dude, it's a
Dang.
it started off all like that, and then just as I opened the door, bam! I was like, whoa! What is that, and how do I get it?
There you go.
It was 815s in the bed of the Max. Who had the Max truck? It was like the Nissan Max or something.
Mighty Max.
Mighty Max,
Mitsubishi.
Mighty Max. So he
I
had
have
it
one of
in a
those.
lifted up Mitsubishi Mighty Max with a camper shell on it, 815s, and each one, it was a Eminem Godfather 15, and each one had a Hyphonics Zeus 1,000 watt amp on every single one of them.
Zeus, yeah.
Oh man, I
Dude.
used to sell both of those. Like in 1990, the very first shop, real shop that I worked at, we sold M&M and Hyphonics.
Hey, lifetime guarantee on that M&M for everything except
Lifetime.
rodents.
Yeah.
Rodents and water damage were the two things that weren't covered on their lifetime warranty. So
They were awesome, man. I met Tony Menino, the owner, and then he had the Rose series. That was his wife. Was named after her. Rose series. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that one.
They were the first guys to beat 150 dB with 32 M&M 12s, isobarically loaded in that van, that big old, those old Chevy, like almost like
Econoline?
camper vans.
Conversion
Remember?
vans,
Conversion vans.
Oh, conversion van.
Because he would come down, we would do like a sale, and he would be out there, and he was a just straight gangster Italian guy. Oh man, he was a hell of a guy, man.
Yeah, we used to so that Nevada Auto Sound, it still exists today, where I felt so it's literally right across the street from the movie theater, and the movie theater would keep calling cops on them to shut them down, and eventually they were only allowed to do it. They actually had time slots where they can only demonstrate that truck, but that was the truck in Reno when I was a kid growing up.
That's by the pepper mill, right?
Right across. So the movie theater used to be on the back side of the pepper mill.
Okay.
And he would shut down the movies with his stereo because it was so loud.
Oh wow!
I would love, with my ears now, now that I'm in part of the system and I hear all these, I would love to go back and just see how loud that really was.
Right.
Because when we're younger, our perceptions are different, and I swear to you, that thing almost stopped my heart. Now I sit in vehicles that do 165 that don't stop my heart. So I'm just curious, and realistically, how much power did he have? So, because he was limited by batteries and didn't have alternators, and, that wasn't a thing then. So.
Just remember, every story back then, my buddy had 212s in his
That's
trunk
right.
and broke the back window. My buddy would just break their hatch window.
Yes. Everybody had a broken back window.
It's very rare that really happens.
Exactly.
But when you get to the power we're dealing with today, it happens, but not
That's
back
right.
then.
Yep. All right. Oh, guys, we've run up on our hour. I appreciate you hanging out. Jeffrey, you want to hit him with our question?
Yeah. All right, Greg. So this is a question that we ask all of our guests. But this is like one of those occasions where I feel like you're the prime example of this question. You're the quintessential example. So let me just hit you with a question. Basically, Greg, we want to know, what is your definition of a bass head?
All right. So, first of all, I call bass heads thunder gumbies. So a Gumby is somebody that just loves bass. Doesn't matter when, where, what. It's a guy who will literally be doing something on the computer, and there's bass coming down the street. He's going to stop what he's doing. He's going to run to the window, see who's driving by. Yeah. Doesn't care. He's going to have bass in a bucket. It doesn't matter if the thing runs right or not. If it's got a bang, it's got to have rattling bass. Bass head is just for the love of bass. No matter when and where, what kind of vehicle, what kind of equipment, just always got the bass cracking.
Yep. There you go. That's definitely a unique one that we haven't heard yet.
What was the term again? It was
Thunder Gumby.
Thunder Gumby.
Thunder Gumby. And where did I get that? I told you I worked for Linear Power. Jerry McCord was the chief engineer. This will go. He started there in the 80s.
Okay.
Long story short, he became the chief engineer for Kicker for many, many years. He's the guy who designed the Warhorse. Jerry McCord, remember that name?
Okay.
And he always told me when guys from like Midwest would call in and he's telling them specs and the guys, but do it bump. That's where that came from.
Do it bump.
Do it. Bump.
You can tell them the damn specs, watts. The question would be, does it slap? That's it.
That's right.
Care about all that. Watts, how many THD?
Exactly.
Does it bump? That's
Oh,
it.
hold on. Before our time runs out, I
Okay.
gotta tell you another quick Greg story.
All right.
This is how good the guy's ears are. This messed me up Sunday. I think it was Sunday. Might have been before that.
Sunday
but-
we were playing.
So you know the resonant frequency of a subwoofer, all right,
Uh-huh.
the FS.
FS.
So I brought a Pioneer Premier, I brought a Frankenwoofer, I had all these things, and we're just trying to figure out we got a little DAX machine. We want to know what the FS is. I hand him the Pioneer Premier, and he grabs it and he just taps on the cone, and he's like, "Oh, this is probably 41 hertz." And I'm like, "How would you even know
How
that?"
would you know that?
So we hook up the DATs, run it 41 hertz. I'm like, okay, all right, I don't know, I'm done. I got nothing else here. He knows it by tapping on the damn thing.
Wow, that's just years and
years of
experience and
yeah.
in being there.
And we had woofers that were 30 hertz. We had 28. We had
the little 6-inch kickers.
Yeah.
Oh, 68, 65 was like 70.
That's high.
And just know, but I don't know, blew my mind. So that's this guy.
You know how you can lower an FS real simple by just putting a nickel on the back of the cone, right?
Lots of different ways. Adding weight definitely will lower the FS for sure. Making the cone heavier, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's a little trick we used to use. We'd put balsa wood or nickels, and that would be a way of tuning the subwoofer to your vehicle. So, but that's some high level build stuff right there. So, it's easier. I would suspect it's easier to do nowadays because the amount of power that we could put into a subwoofer now versus when I used to do that, you could end up making the woofer too heavy so that the power couldn't overcome.
Right, less efficient. You lose efficiency.
Yep.
QTS, QMS, everything changes, but you can definitely lower the resonant frequency.
And
done it before, and if you want that low frequency, you do it. You sacrifice output, but you get the low end.
Yep, absolutely. So, all right, Greg and Woody, who do you guys want to give shout outs to, sponsors, whatever?
Oh boy.
Where are they going to get? Where are they going to find you?
Yes.
Find out about your shop. Find out about all
audio916.com.
Okay.
Easy. I'd like to thank, of course, Woody. He's had my back from day one. Sean Dehart, he's also part of our team.
He's in the podcast there. He's in the chat.
Brandy Lee,
and then Brandy, of course, our homie. We all of us drove all the way to Salem,
Oregon.
For the finals. I asked this year we're going to be hitting your shows and their shows. We just want to go out there and have fun. Want to help sponsor some of your events and just keep this game alive.
Yep. So I will tell you, I just got off the phone with Wayne right before this, and the World Finals for Iasca and DB Drag will not be on the same weekend. So that's
you might be able to make it.
You see?
No.
You know that makes sense. You know it does.
Yes.
It's
No.
awesome.
We didn't intend that last year. What happened was we let them know our day, and he got locked into the same day, and it just.
Well, now I'm glad that again, it's for the love of the sport.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
and so it will not be on the same day. So
because
got that
you can see it. We were torn. We were, with Ray, we had our points, so it was like, we had to finish up.
Yep. So
we did okay, by the way.
Yeah, Brandy got a second, I think she said, right? So
you know what she also did? She landed on exactly 2,000 watts.
That's
in
right.
The 2,000 watt.
2,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Impossible to do. She did it. So that was nice.
Yep.
I think Sean got a number 1 at the Was it number one? I don't know. Sean will let you know. Sean did really good too. This guy did really good too.
Yeah.
I was a scrub up there, but speaking of shout outs, last second I needed an amp. Sean Sickles came through for me last year. So did Elijah. I was down. I needed amps. I needed Ray Pinley to do recones for me. So last year, all the stuff I needed, everybody came through. So yeah, shout out to you guys.
Again,
and Kyle Ernie for alternator.
Great organization. All the Gumbies. Remember, you guys are Gumbies.
Gumbies.
All you Gumbies are good people. Always, whenever we didn't have a tool or anything, always somebody found a screwdriver, electrical tape, whatever it took. Always. Love you, Gumbies.
Where's your store located?
Rancho Cordova on Sunrise Boulevard.
Okay.
On Sunrise Boulevard. So pretty easy to find. Audio 916, hit it, boom, we're here.
All right.
Call us for advice, stop by. I'd rather have you stop by because phone,
Yeah, bring the vehicle.
Dude, it's busy. It's busy sometimes in that shop. I'll tell you, I've been there. I haven't been in Audio 916, but I do know his other shops were constantly busy. So I don't. Greg's a successful businessman, and it's not on accident. So it's through a lot of hard work. He does put in a lot of hours, and he does put in the hard work. And like I said, he does have a good support system helping him. He's got good employees, so that makes for a successful business. So most likely, it's going to be pretty busy in there. So, Jeffrey, what do you got for us coming up, or anything?
Next month, coming up April 21st.
Okay.
We're going to have a triple point event at Crossfire Car Audio. Just got upgraded by Longleaf Mechanical, who's Tony Curry, as well as our friend Julius Mac Johnson III, representing Mobile Technology of Texas.
Okay.
So both of those companies are going in and upgrading the next Crossfire show to a triple point event. It's going to be our first triple of the new year at Crossfire. So keep an eye out for that. It's on the calendar. We've already made the Facebook event page, so definitely do a search for that, and hope to see everyone there.
You guys know what you're doing to me, right? Because Moses ain't gonna like this.
You know what? It's like we're waiting for you to unleash your shows, and it's like we know it's coming. We know it's gonna be back to back weekends. So we're just kind of like we're doing our thing, and we're trying to keep up.
All right. And for me, I was talking to Moses before the show. And we're working on some stuff, trying to get some stuff handled. Sorry about that.
Shout out to the newly engaged couple too, Moses and Rosa.
Oh, they got engaged, huh?
I'm pretty sure they did, right? You're his homeboy.
I don't go on Facebook. If they announced it on Facebook, I would never even know.
Shout out to them anyway. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. So.
Oh, that's good, because he needs her in his life. He absolutely does.
Soldier, yeah.
Everyone needs a Rosa. We got to find our own now.
Yeah.
He got a good one. He got a good one.
Yeah, Jeffrey's got his. I got mine.
I got mine.
And Greg's got his. Woody says, looks like only one of us kids is doing his own thing.
I've actually blamed Kyle Ernie because I told him a long time ago to have his lady hook me up with my first friends or something. Never happened. So here I am,
All right, guys. Well, I got to go take some money from some old folk. Got to go bowling, and dude, I gotta fix this because I'm averaging way too much. So I got to figure out how not to average so high because I got to go bowl tournaments across the country.
Otherwise you can't sneak in there and take that money because they know who they're bowling against.
Dude, I'm telling you, I show up like in Dallas one time. I showed up and so you're Doug Stockton. Who do you know? How do you know me? That's bull crap. Because I'm trying to come in under the radar and stuff, and it just ain't working some of the times nowadays.
You're right. We got to sandbag a little bit. By the way, Saturday I'm only running 1 8-inch woofer, just in case anybody wants to compete.
Don't be in this class. Just 1 8.
It's got 1 8, 500 watts.
And where are you guys competing Saturday?
Fresno.
Okay. Audio Innovations.
Same spot we always go to.
Audio Innovation. Audio Innovation. Right.
Concept?
I forgot. No. Yeah, Audio Concepts. I think that's.
It's Ray Aragon, right?
Yeah, Ray Aragon.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've invited him to come on here a bunch. He hasn't responded, so I mean, it'd be nice for him to come on and talk about his shop and stuff. So someday somebody will get to him and he might come on.
Are
Anyway,
you're gonna be running? You said an 8-inch sub?
Yeah, just one tiny little
Just-
8, maybe,
just
maybe
'cause?
100 watts.
6x9.
It's our Shawnee Sounds prototype 8. I'm not going to be really loud on Saturday. Just
Sure.
Don't come prepared. Don't worry about
That's
it.
what they
guys.
all say.
all right, guys, I got to get going. Hey, people, thank you for tuning in this week. This week in car audio, we like to thank our sponsors: Voodoo Customs, E-Box, and Crossfire Car Audio. If you have an opportunity to buy something, buy it from the people who sponsor the things that you like to do. Once again, that's Crossfire Car Audio, E-Box Design and Install, and Voodoo Customs. Once again, we'll see you guys next week at 5:30 California time, the only time that matters. Peace. We're out.